What if I told you the reality that you see might not actually be what you think it is? Let's start off with the question, can two things be the same at once? Sounds impossible, but science says yes. And surprisingly, so does the Bible. Quantum mechanics says that the world works in a way that defies classical logic. Einstein said this the best. He said, it's like God playing dice with the universe. To start off, let's look at the theory of superposition. It states that particles don't have a definitive position or state. They can exist in multiple states and multiple positions at once. Imagine you flip a coin, but instead of getting a head or tail, it remains a head or tail until you look at it. This is true for electrons. Electrons have no definitive state until we measure it. This was proved by Thomas Young in the double-slit experiment. I hope you've heard about it. It showed that a particle can have a dual nature, particle and a wave, until we observe it.
In the double-slit experiment, laser light passes through two slits in a wall and spreads out like a wave as it passes through. The waves coming from each slit interfere with each other, creating a pattern of light and dark spots on a wall on the other side. But what if instead of laser light, you throw particles at the wall? You can see that instead of two spots directly behind the slits, an interference pattern will appear, just like with the light. The electrons are behaving like waves and interfering with each other. This is the crux of wave-particle duality. Even something we think of as an individual object, like an electron, has an essential wave-like nature and acts as a wave when it's moving through space.
Does this concept baffle you? You're not alone. But it got me thinking. It got me thinking about another concept that's just as mysterious, the Trinity.
Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
Physics today reveals a universe that isn't rigid as we once thought it was. If the fundamental nature of reality is as mysterious as we are finding out, could that be the same for God as well? Let's take a step back. At first, the Trinity, one God, three persons, might sound paradoxical. But in the quantum world, paradoxes are everywhere. Let's think about it like this. Think of yourself as a parent, a teacher, and a friend. Each role expresses a different part of who you are, yet you remain one person. The Trinity is similar. They are distinct but unified. The Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, they are different but one being. In 1926, physicist Erwin Schrödinger discovered something mind-bending. He found out that electrons can be both a particle and a wave. Later on, this was proved further in the double-slit experiment and expanded to light as well, where light can be a particle and a wave, two seemingly unrelated realities coexisting. But just like an electron can be a wave or a particle, God can exist as three people but be one being. Paul writes in Colossians 1, He is before all things. In Him all things hold together. That sounds a lot like wave-particle duality to me, but I could be wrong. I believe that Paul is talking about a system where he can't categorize into either or, but instead holds everything together. Einstein's famous equation E is equal to mc squared, energy is equals to mass times speed of light squared, shows the mass to energy equivalence, meaning energy and mass can be interchangeable. Energy can become mass and mass can become energy, theoretically. But I liken this to grace. The energy of God transforming us from within definitely transformed me, and I'm sure you have stories too. Just like E equals mc squared. Okay, but wait, don't get confused. Think of the wave as the Father, invisible, omnipotent, and beyond physical form. And the particle as Jesus, tangible, physically present, and incarnated. And Holy Spirit as energy, the active, moving force that's inside believers. Even Jesus says that in John 14:9, anyone who's seen me has seen the Father. Jesus is fully God, but distinct from the Father, just like light. Light being a particle and a wave. This leads to a deeper problem. How can something exist in multiple states at once?
If you're into science that doesn't leave God out and want to know how they connect, you're in the right space. Stay tuned for part 2 of this video. If you want to watch these episodes in full, and before anyone else does, join the WOWLife deep dives. It's a whole other vibe there.